All right, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be discussing the rest of the Venn diagram things. Lots of symbols that you need to hopefully remember. If you can't remember them, just refer back to those pages from yesterday until you've got them figured out. Okay, so we're going to be using this diagram to determine the following sets. So first one, this is the union symbol. So the union of A and B. Remember what union means. It means everything in A and everything in B. So it's got a nice picture for us. So remember the 1, 2, 3, and 4 Roman numerals are just kind of denoting the regions. They're not actually part of the sets. So the union of A and B, we're going to use that set notation. So write that like that. And then you're going to just fill in, what is everything in A and B? Well, it's all of these things. So it would be pi, it would be e, it would be the square root of 2, it would be the square root of -1, it would be e to the pi I power. How fun is that? And then 10 to the 100th power. And what is that, 2 to the 16th, I think? Well, that's kind of jacked up. I don't think it quite is, but that's what we're going to call it. 2 to the 16th. It's something else. I didn't print quite well enough for me to read it. Okay. So that's everything in A and B. Number 2 says it's got the union of A and B's complement. So the complement, remember, what does that mean? That means everything that's not in the union of A and B. Well, what's not in A and B? There's only one thing that's not in A and B, and it's down here in region 4, 666. So the complement, the things not in A or B, is just that 666. Okay, number 3 is the intersection of A and B. That means what's in A and B, and like what's in both A and what's in both B. So what's in both A and what's in both B? Well, that's region 2, right? Those are the things that are in common with A and B. So the intersection of A and B would be those things right in the middle, the square root of 2 and the square root of -1. Okay. Number 4 says the complement of the intersection of A and B. So if these are the two things that are in the intersection of A and B, everything else would be the complement. Those are the things not in the intersection of A and B. So we'll write that down. So what's not in the intersection of A and B? Well, it would be everything else. Pi, e, so these are the only things that we're not listing. E to the pi I power, 10 to the 100th, whatever that one is, I'm just going to call it 2 to the 16th. That's what it kind of looks like on my printed paper. 666, also don't forget about it. Okay, 5 and 6, we're getting a little more tricky. So this is the complement of A and the intersection of B. So the things not in A and the intersection of B. So what's not in A? So these are the things that are in A, right? These 4 things are in A. So the complement of A would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 things. Do you agree? So what's the intersection of these 4 things and the things that are in B? It would be region 3. So the complement of A's intersection with B, that would be e to the pi I, 10 to the 100th, 2 to the 16th. And then number 6, the union of A and the things that aren't in B. So let's start with the things that aren't in B. The things that aren't in B is pi, e, and 666. And then what are the things in A? It would be pi, e, square root of 2, and the square root of -1. So the union, remember, is just listing all of those things. So that one's a little easier. We're just listing everything that's in A and then everything that's not in B. So let's start with everything in A. Pi, e, the square root of 2, the square root of -1. Okay, we got everything in A. Now what's everything that's not in B? Everything that's in B are these 5 things. What's not in B? Pi and E and 666. We've already got pi and E, so the only thing left is 666. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I really need you to pause the video here and try these next 6 problems because they are very, very similar to the ones above, but see if you can figure them out. So please pause the video, try these 6, and we'll see how you do. Did you pause it? All right, here we go. Let's see how you did. The intersection of A and B. The intersection of A and B is the things that are in common in A and B. It's region 2. That one's nice and easy. The intersection of A and B is just 5. Okay, number 8. The complement of the intersection of A and B. Okay, so 5 is the only thing in there. Everything else would be the complement. So that would be 2, 3, 7, 11, 13, and 17 and 19. Okay, the union of A and B. That is everything in A and everything in B. I don't know why I put parentheses around it. That's okay. So what's in A? 2, 3, and 5. What's in B? 5, 7, 11, and 13. We've already got 5 listed, so we don't put it twice. 7, 11, and 13 would be the new ones. Close your brace, and there it is. Okay. The complement of the union of A and B. Okay, so this one helps us. If this is what's in the union of A and B, the complement would be the only things that aren't listed here. So we've already listed all of these 6 numbers in here, so the complement would be the other things that are left over, 17 and 19. Okay, 11 and 12 are the most difficult types of one. The complement of A and the union of B, so the union of the complement of A and B. Okay, so let's start with what's in A, these things. So the complement would be those things, right? So what's not in A? The things that are not in A would be 7, 11, 13, 17, and 19. Okay? Now, and then also union that with the things that are in B. What's in B? 5, 7, 11, and 13. Well, we've already listed 7, 11, and 13. The only thing that's left is 5. Okay, number 12, the intersection of A and the complement of B. Okay, so this one you really have to think about with intersection. So that's intersection, remember, is what's in both of these lists. So what's in A? And A is 2, 3, and 5. And then we're intersecting that with the complement of B. So the things that are not in B, what's not in B? 2, 3, 17, and 19. So what was in both of those lists? So maybe it would be helpful if you wanted to write what's in A underneath it. 2, 3, and 5, right? What's not in B? 2, 3, 17, and 19. So what's in both of those lists? 2 and 3 are in both of those lists. So maybe that would be helpful if you want to write them down underneath it, and then just that might help you so you don't have to think about it so much. Let's look at the back. We're going to be looking at Venn diagrams with 3 sets this time. So we've got a beautiful picture here and lots of regions. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 regions to consider. Okay, so the first one, determine set A. So what's in A? Now this is tricky. It's not just 2 or 11 and 3, right? A is this whole circle. So it's these 4 regions, right? We list those numbers. So let's list them down. 11 and 3, 12, 6, 5, and 7. All of those things are in A. Okay. Number 2 is the union of A and B. So remember that means everything in A and B. Oops, I wrote that wrong. A. I'm just going to put B union A. It's the same thing as A union B, right? Okay, A union B. So everything in A, that circle, and everything in B, that circle. And then just don't repeat anything. So we know what's in A already, so we can just list those. 11, 3, 12, 6, 5, and 7. Okay, what's in B? B has 12, 5, and 7, which we've already got. It also has 1, 2, 10, and 9. So those are the new things. 1, 2, 10, and 9. Okay, number 3 there is the intersection of B and C. So that is what's in common with B and C. So B has these circle, is this circle, C is that circle. So the intersection is literally where those two circles intersect. So it's these two regions here, regions 5 and 6. So what's in that section right there? 5, 7, and 9. That one, it wasn't too bad. 5, 7, and 9. Okay, let's look at 4, 5, and 6 down there. First one is the complement of C. So that means everything that's not in C. So remember, C is this whole circle here. What are the things that are not in that circle? That would be 11, 3, 12, 1, 2, and 10. And don't forget about out here, this is not in C as well, number 4. Okay, number 5 is the intersections of A, B, and C. Okay, so what is that? Where does A, B, and C all intersect? It's this very middle region right there. It's 5 and 7. Okay. Lastly, number 6 for this row, nice and easy. What's in C? So what's in the circle C? That would be, I'm just going to go kind of in whatever order, 6, 5, 7, 9, and 8. Okay, do you want to pause the video here? Try 7 through 10. That would be good. See how you do. Okay, first up is the union of B and C. So that means, again, everything in B and everything in C. List it all out. So 12, 1, 2, 10, 5, 7, and 9. Those are everything in B. And then what's additional in C? I've already got the 5, 7, and 9. The only thing extra is the 6 and the 8. Number 8 is the intersection of A and C. Remember, intersection is literally their intersection. So where do these two circles line up? Right here. Where do they intersect? Right there. 5, 6, and 7. Number 9 is the complement of B. So those are the things that aren't in B. What's not in B? 11, 3, 6, 8, and 4. Don't forget about that thing that's not in any of them. And then the union of A, B, and C. So the union is what's in A, what's in B, what's in C, list them all. So that's every single number except for 4, right? So let's see, 11, 3, 12, 1, 2, 10, 6, 5, 7, 9, and 8. There they are. Let me know how you did in the comments below. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to construct a Venn diagram for the following sets. Okay, so here's your hint on these. When you're drawing your own picture, you want to work from the middle of the diagram and work your way out, okay? So first thing we're going to need is a box. Now be generous with your box. The bigger, the better, probably. It's kind of hard to draw these, really. Okay, got a nice big box. And we need 3 circles. We know that because we have A, B, C for our sets, and then the universal set tells you everything that's in there. Okay, so again, be nice and big with these circles. nice and big with these circles. Okay, so this is going to be A, this one's going to be B, and this one's going to be C. Okay, let's see now. So from here, you want to look at, we want to start in this middle region. So that means what's in common with A, B, and C. What's in A, B, and C? I see A is in those two, but not in B. B is not in all three. C, I see E is in all three. And so I'm going to cross those out. E is in all three. And looks like H is in all three, right? So cross those out. So E and H go right there in the very, very middle. Okay, next you're going to do these three sections. So what's in A and B, what's in A and C, and what's in B and C. So let's start with A and B. What's in common with A and B? I see G is in both of them. And that's it, right? Okay. Then let's do B and C next. What's in B and C? Nothing is in common with B and C, so that one's going to be empty. And then what is in A and C? I see that A is in A and C, so we'll cross those out. And that's it. Okay. Let's see, I've also forgotten to cross them out down here. So let's see, A gets crossed out, E gets crossed out, G gets crossed out, and H gets crossed out. Those are the four things we've said so far. Awesome. Okay. And then the things that are left over in A, B, and C get just placed in those last ones. So left in A is D, I, and J. D, I, and J. So I'm going to cross them out down here in my universal set as well. I don't really need to cross them out in the A set. In B, the things left over are B and L. Cross them out, B and L. And the things in C is just lowercase c. Cross it out in the universal set. So that means, remember, the things left over in the universal set need to be off down here outside of the circles. So that's how you do that. So again, please pause the video here and try D, E, and F. Make those ones. All right, go ahead and pause the video here and we'll see how you did. Remember, be nice and generous when drawing your circles, nice and big. All right, so I'll make this one D, this one E, that one F. All right, so start right in the center. So that's what's in all three lists. 10 is in all three lists. Goes right in the middle. Is anything else in all three lists? I don't think so. Okay, then you're going to start with the next three regions. So let's do what's in common with D and E. In D and E, nothing is in common. How about E and F? There's a 4 in both of those lists. So 4 goes in between E and F. 4, oh, and 9 is in E and F. Okay, how about between D and F? Oh, I need to cross them out in my universal set. 4 and 9. Okay, between D and F, I see 3 is in both of those lists. And that's it. Okay, then the things that are left over just go in those outer parts of the ring. So 6, 7 in E, 5 and 8 in F. And then everything that's not crossed out in your universal set just gets put outside in the lonely space. Okay, so there it is. Let me know if you did well in that. You can comment below. Good luck, guys. If you need help with this, it can be pretty tricky sometimes. Just reach out. I'll be happy to chat with you. Good luck on the My Math Lab assignment. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys.